Elon Musk, of course, the CEO of Tesla and other amazing companies, is currently visiting China for the first time in over 3 years. Some may say his visit has coincided quite nicely with increasing competition from Chinese electric vehicle producers, specifically BYD. So why did Elon Musk decide to go to China? Why is he currently spending his very, very precious time over there? I think there are a few reasons here. Firstly, China is Tesla's largest market outside of the US. In 2022, Tesla actually sold over 470,000 vehicles in China alone, which actually accounted for almost half of all of the Tesla sales in that time period. So China is kind of a big deal to Tesla. Secondly, China is a major manufacturing hub for Tesla. Of course, we have got the Shanghai Gigafactory, which is by far the largest production facility of Teslas outside of the United States. And again, in 2022, the Shanghai Gigafactory produced over 450,000 vehicles. So that plant alone is quite a big deal in terms of supply versus demand. And also, China itself is really, really key, a very prominent market in terms of Tesla's future growth and their TAM, their total addressable market. There is a lot in China still left for Tesla to do. Like I was saying at the beginning of this video, there are some real competitors for Tesla in China. Now, I would argue that there's not really any competitors of Tesla worldwide, really, but if I was going to say that there is one, it's going to be BYD. The Chinese government are quite committed to promoting the development of the electric vehicle market. So if Tesla can find a real way to capitalize on that and continue to do what they're doing over there, then they're really well positioned to benefit from this trend. I just used the word trend. I don't think electric vehicles are a trend. I think they're very much here to stay. And yeah, I think that's the future. We all know that Tesla are going to open a new factory at some point in the near future. Perhaps it will be in Mexico, but also on top of that, maybe, just thrown out there, they might end up expanding the Shanghai Gigafactory. And this would just add to that already incredible 450,000 vehicles that the Chinese plant already are sitting at as a yearly output. So like I said, Elon Musk is still currently in China. But what has happened so far that we already know about? Well, during his visit already, he's met with some pretty big names. He's met with a number of Chinese government officials, including the country's foreign minister and the minister of industry and information technology. That was a mouthful. He's met with some big people, basically. And he's also scheduled to actually visit the Shanghai Gigafactory later on today. So we get to the most important point of this video. There has been quite a lot of growing tension between the US and China, which I'm sure you already know about if you watch the news. This has been happening for many, many decades. And yeah, the tension is still very much there. And this also involves Taiwan, of course, as well. So I'm assuming that Elon Musk, he's a very smart man, much smarter than myself, but I'm just assuming that he wants to be able to know that should this tension get any worse, should it progress any further, that he is able to still continue his business in the Chinese market. So he is using his time, presumably, to start building those really good relationships now and talking to the people that actually hold the power. And this matters for a few reasons. Like I already said, China is a big market for Tesla. And of course, they have their massive Shanghai factory there as well. So if the relationships between the US and China were to sour even further, then this, quite frankly, wouldn't be good for any businesses out there. If you think about Apple, for example, like where would the iPhone be coming from? Where would other products that, China are pumping out for us be coming from? And Tesla is included in this as well. It just wouldn't be good for worldwide businesses, including Tesla. And because China manufacture such a large quantity of different products, it just wouldn't be great in terms of the supply chains and the trade relationships between the countries. Also, talking about Taiwan, they are a big producer of chips. And I don't mean the chips that are really tasty, I mean the chips that you wouldn't really want to eat, but are very important these days and getting more and more important. So Tesla actually design their own chips, if you didn't know. They prefer to go with the cheese and no. For those of you who didn't know, Tesla actually do design their own chips, but they do manufacture some from TSMC and also some from Samsung as well. So again, this wouldn't be great if tensions were to worsen. Another interesting thing that's come out of his time in China so far is that he actually met with a guy called Robin Zeng. And Robin Zeng is the chairman of CATL. And they met presumably to discuss the supply of electric vehicle batteries. Because if you don't know, CATL is a Chinese battery manufacturer and technology company that specializes in basically manufacturing lithium-ion batteries, specifically for electric vehicles, but also for energy storage systems too. So maybe Elon Musk is talking with this guy about how they can help Tesla in terms of supplying lithium-ion batteries. Maybe this is just a general conversation about electric vehicles and lithium-ion batteries for Elon Musk's own knowledge, I don't know. But it may also be about how they can actually help grow Tesla further in that area of the world. But also maybe how CATL could actually step in and help with producing batteries more locally. So creating a local supply chain. Because if tensions and relationships between the US and China aren't that good, then having a way to have a shorter and more local supply chain would really help Tesla out there. Because the last thing they want to do is not be able to produce cars for China. That would be awful given the size of the market over there. And it's really interesting actually because Tesla's Model Y vehicle was sold the most in China in Q1 2023. So I've been following the news whilst Elon Musk has been in China. And according to Bloomberg report published on March 31st, so today, the US automaker Tesla has been considering the construction of a battery plant in the US in partnership with CATL. Now that's really, really interesting because it would be an amazing thing for Tesla and Tesla investors if they were completely in charge of their own battery manufacturing. That would be a big deal. Completely removing the bottleneck in terms of battery production for their vehicles. Like it would be an absolute game changer. So if that's happening and they're in talks with this big company that do that already, that's a pretty big deal in my personal opinion. Anyway, it goes on to say in partnership with CATL, the world's largest battery manufacturer, to qualify for incentives provided by the Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act. Interesting stuff. So broadly speaking, what does Elon Musk's visit to China actually mean for Tesla as a company? Well, we've spoken about a lot of reasons already, but just to summarize this, I think it signals the company's commitment to the Chinese market. They know how important the Chinese market are for them. And for profit, top line, bottom line, all of this good stuff, they know that that's important. And I imagine that they want to kind of compete and show up against BYD as well. It also signals to us that Elon Musk is taking it really seriously. These growing tensions, he's taken it seriously to better the relationship between the US and China, particularly with, the outlook to improve electric vehicles and to allow Tesla to continue to run successfully as a business. I believe this to be a really positive thing. Looking at this as a Tesla investor myself, it's making me more bullish. And Tesla stock right now is still about half price from its all-time high. So I'm just still accumulating shares, buying. And every single time I buy, I let my Patreon members on Discord know as that happens. So if you're interested in joining the community, it's less than a cup of coffee every single month, and we chat every single day about Tesla, Palantir, our portfolios, what moves we're making, all of that good stuff. So I'd love to see some more of you guys there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in another video.